Roger Goodell, aka the truth teller. Oh, who said that? No one. That's who. I was just joking about Roger Goodell being a truth teller. This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Roger Goodell commenting about streaming services being used for NFL games. In recent memory, there was a playoff game streamed exclusively on Peacock, which received a lot of backlash from traditional NFL fans. However, Roger Goodell defended the decision to put a playoff game on Peacock when asked by NFL media yesterday on Media Night. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. What is your reaction to Roger Goodell's comments about streaming football games? Honestly, there's several ways I can go with this. I had a lot of thoughts about what Roger Goodell said. I'm going to insert some videos in today for you guys to go see in terms of what Roger Goodell said, because Roger Goodell made a lot of interesting statements. The first thought that I had in my mind was that Roger Goodell is all about getting that money. It's all about getting that cash grab in there, because he is all about grabbing that money and sacrificing his morals and values of the casual fan so he can replace the traditional fan with the Swifties. There is a lot of reasons why he would want to do that, because obviously Roger Goodell cares about the money at the end of the day. He doesn't care about the morals. He doesn't care about the values. That's what Roger Goodell is all about. And I'm going to show you guys this clip where he is going to be talking about streaming football games. He addressed it on Media Night. Roll the film.
Well, Sam, I think you first have to back up a little bit and sort of understand where the media landscape is going. It's changing faster and deeper. Consumers are moving off of pay television services and going into digital streaming services and platforms. And we as the NFL have to be able to reach our fans there. One of the most positive things about the Peacock game was not just the fact that it outdrew the broadcast audience a year earlier in the same window. So people went there, experienced it. It worked technically in an incredible way, and our partners at Peacock and NBC, we give a lot of credit to them for that. But it also reduced our average age of the audience by almost 10 years. So youth audiences are going to those platforms and those apps, and we have to make sure our content is there. We still have over 90% of our games on free television. No other league, no other sports comes close to that. When we were in the 80s, when we moved to ESPN and we went behind to pay TV, there was the same outcry. But what we did is we created a platform that fans can engage with, have access to, that is actually beneficial to the consumers, because that's where they are. We have to fish where the fish are, and we have a lot of consumers that are on those platforms, and Peacock games showed that. Amazon showed that over the last 2 years. Their ratings were up 24% this year. We saw it with YouTube and our Sunday ticket package, doubled the number of subscribers. So our fans are on these platforms. Our fans want to access them. The technology is extraordinary. You can do things on some of these platforms that you can't do on a linear platform. So for us, it's part of the future. I don't know where it goes from here, but we're going to continue to reach our fans where they are with the best possible production, the best possible technology.
There you go. You just heard what Roger Goodell said. Roger Goodell just said that these streaming services are the new ways to go. Translation, that means he's trying to replace the traditional fan with a new school fan. They're trying to replace their audience, and it's pretty clear that Roger Goodell does not care about the core fans of the NFL, and that he just cares about grabbing the money up top, because we all know that when you do streaming services, you get more money up front compared to if you just do it the traditional media way. And Roger Goodell doesn't care about the core values of the traditional fan. He cares more about getting that money. And look, I don't blame him, right? Because we're in a capitalist society, and he has to do things where he has to get money. And Roger Goodell, he managed to do that with that Peacock game. That's how he managed to get $110 million, even though ratings for that playoff game was not good. I know Roger Goodell keeps trying to tell everybody that they were successful in the playoffs in terms of using a Peacock game for the playoffs, because he repeats that the Dolphins-Chiefs game averaged 23 million fans on Peacock. Obviously, that number sounds feels like it's good, but when you compare it to the other wild card games that was going on, that's not nearly good enough. Because when you look at the other games that were being aired on traditional TV settings, you look at Browns Texans, average 29 million. You look at Packers Cowboys, average 40 million. You look at the Rams Lions game, average 36 million. And then you got the Steelers Bills game, a playoff game aired on Monday afternoon. That should have easily been the lowest rated time. It actually averaged 31 million, which is 8 more million than the Dolphins Chiefs game. And then of course you had the Eagles Buccaneers game on Monday Night Football. It averaged 28.6 million. My point is that the NFL lost 5 to 10 million people in their audience by putting the game exclusively on Peacock. And when you do that, you deny the 50-year-old man a chance to watch a playoff game, because what if he doesn't know how to use those streaming services? What if he doesn't want to use those streaming services in order to watch his TV or get his entertainment in there? Because a lot of people still use traditional TV. Yes, I know the younger audience uses streaming services and everything like that, but at the end of the day, you have to cater to all fans of the NFL. You can't just put it exclusively to a certain group. Yes, of course, ratings tilted almost 10 years younger in the audience. That's because the middle-aged man doesn't use streaming services more often than not. I know a lot of middle-aged relatives that I have in my family that don't even use streaming services whatsoever. So the number that Roger Goodell is trying to talk about is entirely misleading. Sure, it's the most streamed event in the entire history of streaming, but who really uses live streaming events anyway? Of course it was going to be number one. The NFL is number one in the world, and streaming services have not really been used before the Dolphins-Chiefs playoff game, so of course it was going to be the most streamed event in NFL history. But when you compare the Dolphins-Chiefs game to other playoff games going on that same weekend, yeah, ratings were not successful in there. Now, also notice that the timing of the press conference was last night. Usually it's supposed to be on Friday, so you can tell that Roger Goodell is trying to duck the main media and that he is also making this invitation only. That means he is trying to cover his ass, because of the fact that Roger Goodell is a guy that nobody likes whatsoever. Whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, nobody likes Roger Goodell whatsoever, and he's just trying to block himself from getting exposed. So I just wanted to also note that in there. Another reason why I thought that Roger Goodell's comments about streaming football games were interesting was because of the fact that he is a straight up coward. Because when Tracy Wolfson asked Roger Goodell, are you going to do a stream exclusively game for the Super Bowl? Here's what Roger Goodell had to say. And instead of me saying it, I'm going to show you guys this other clip of what Roger Goodell said. Roll the film.
Could we see a streaming Super Bowl in the future?
Certainly not in my time. I still believe, and even on some of the pay services, listen, one of the secrets of our success is we are really committed to broadcast television. As I said, 90% of our games are on broadcast and free over-the-air television. I think it's the reason why you will see over 200 million people watch this game here in the United States, because it's on broadcast television and the broadest possible platform. And our credit to CBS, they've built a great platform for us. But there's also a digital stream of Paramount Plus. And we want to support that because there are some fans that are watching on Paramount Plus a lot. So I think it's, again, we'll see Super Bowl continue to be on the broadest platform. I think we'll continue to see the NFL on the broadest possible platform. 23 million people watched that wild card game.
Of course, you're not going to put a game streaming exclusively on those streaming services for the Super Bowl. Of course, Roger Goodell. But you just said that streaming services have been a major success. Did you see how Roger Goodell contradicted himself right there with those two clips that I just showed you guys? It is all because Roger Goodell is all about grabbing the money and having a good perception of the league. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that's what's going on with Roger Goodell, and that Roger Goodell doesn't really care about how the average fan feels about the NFL. All he cares about is how much money he has in his pockets, and that's what Roger Goodell is all about. So that was also another takeaway that I had about Roger Goodell's comments about streaming football games. Obviously, you think about how the NFL, they're trying to replace traditional fans. They don't care about the middle-aged fan in the NFL anymore. You look at the target audience the NFL used to have. They used to target middle-aged men to watch the NFL. That is no longer the case. They are trying to get emasculated men to watch the game of football. They're trying to get more women involved within the game of football. That's why they put in more women referees. That's why they put these women coaches, don't think all of this was by accident or that they were trying to do this by equality. It is by design. The NFL is trying to send a message that they are trying to shift their target audience to the Democratic Party and these leftists. And Roger Goodell is all about that. Now, do I think Roger Goodell is actually woke? No, I don't think he is woke at all. I think Roger Goodell is a guy that is just trying to grab money and screw his morality, screw the values that he has. He is all about getting the money at all costs, even if he doesn't actually believe in these things. And finally, my final thought about Roger Goodell's comments about streaming football games is that honestly, he's trying to pander to the Swifties and the leftists. That's why when they put that Peacock game on, that's why they put the Kansas City Chiefs on there. Why? Because Travis Kelce, superstar tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, is dating Taylor Swift. So obviously, the middle-aged fan that wants to watch the Chiefs playoff game, he's not going to pay a $5.99 to see the Dolphins Chiefs play against each other because he's not going to want to give the NFL money. However, if you target the Swifties for a playoff game where you tell them you only have to pay $5.99 to see Taylor Swift, they're going to be like, oh my God, we got to see Taylor Swift on the screen. Taylor Swift is a huge influencer in my life. Please, Daddy, let me go pay $5.99 to see Taylor Swift on the screen. But obviously, if you're a middle-aged football fan, you don't care about the extracurricular stuff. You just want to watch football, particularly the NFL. But when you target these Swifties, they don't actually care about the game. They care about the things around the game. They care about the celebrities surrounding the game. And obviously, when you tell Swifties that Taylor Swift is at a playoff game and that you have a chance to see her for only $5.99, of course they're going to take the offer more often than not. Heck, just look at Taylor Swift's concerts. Those concerts are extremely expensive to attend. So I think $5.99, oh, that's not much money to give up to the NFL. Let's just go give $5.99 to see Taylor Swift on my screen because some people love Taylor Swift like that. I'm just trying to explain to you what Roger Goodell is trying to target by putting Peacock on there. That's why they put that playoff game on Peacock. Do you think they would have put the Browns-Texans game on Peacock? Heck no, because of the fact that the Texans have an incredibly small fan base compared to other teams in the NFL. They're not going to do that. So obviously they were going to put the Dolphins-Chiefs game on Peacock. That was by design. That was not an accident. And Roger Goodell is all about getting that money. I know I keep repeating that, but that's really what Roger Goodell is all about. And I know Roger Goodell keeps repeating about, oh, they hit 23 million viewers for the Dolphins-Chiefs playoff game, but Peacock has 30 million subscribers. So you're telling me that you could only get 23 million viewers out of 30 million subscribers? Also, think about the fact that some people might have forked over $5.99 just to watch that playoff game that normally don't use Peacock. So you got to take that into consideration. Ultimately, Roger Goodell is not being honest about Peacock ratings that are surrounding the NFL. He was not honest about how they performed compared to other wildcard games. Yes, you could say 23 million was a success, but when you compare it to the other 5 playoff games in wildcard weekend, yeah, it's hard to call that success when they were averaging 5 to 10 million viewers less compared to the other games going on. So that's why I have those reactions to Roger Goodell's comments about streaming football games, as he is all about getting the money, regardless of whether or not it will hurt his core audience. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinStran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinStran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinStran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.